Yo, Jeff, good morning. Good morning. Good morning, guys. Happy Monday. Got a lot to go over today. We're going to go take a look and see what the markets are doing. Um, I'm probably expecting a little bit of chop. It's been earnings week is always choppy. Earnings, last week were choppy. I expect this week to be choppy. But more than anything, we're going to go over Apex 3.0 new rules later in the stream. So it's gonna be an interesting one. Let me get my stuff here together and we'll kickstart the day here soon. Okay, this is great. I have the Apex notes pulled up, so we'll be able to go over those. What's up, Jeff? Did you guys have a good weekend? I'm finally good to go, man. My kid, my wife, and me, we were sick. We've been sick for a few days now. I think my kid just broke out of it now. I broke out of it last night. Wife is the next one here. Hopefully, she'll break out of it soon. It was a light cold. It wasn't that bad. But when your kids get sick, it's never okay with it. So you just feel bad. All right, so we got the notes up. Let me make sure I got all my ducks in order here. Let me head on over to the Facebook, let everybody know. Guys, in the description section of the stream, you can find all my social media there. All right, got everything posted. We're ready to rock and roll. Trying out a new camera here today, guys. It's the ObsBot. It's a cool little webcam. Yo, great thing. What happened to the fish tank, man? What? Damn. That's a throwback. The fish tank couldn't hang, bro. Couldn't hang. I do miss it, but I still have it. It's empty. It's outside. It's all cleaned up. Um, I it's not good. The problem is that I am I leave. We go down to the Keys and we're down there for months on end. And even though I had the fish tank pretty damn automated, it doesn't work. It doesn't work out uh, when you're trying to have live coral, and I had coral in there and it just wasn't working out. So it was just becoming too much of a headache. It was because it got out of hand. Phosphate got high. We started growing crazy algae in there, and I couldn't get it dialed in at that point. And we have power outage, because a storm will swing by and then a power outage will be out for a few hours or a couple hours. And then that would mess with the lighting schedule. Just a nightmare. I said, all right, I'm done with it. So now we're just down to the dog and some chickens. And that's it. Stuff that is very simple. How you been, man? Been a long time. I barely do these streams anymore. Okay, this is good. Let me bring up my equities charts. Trying to remember how to use the tools of the streaming, man. There we go. Hey, just yeah, it's just what I thought. It's looking like it's gonna be choppy. Just looking choppy, choppy. Got the cues in the middle of no man's land, not no man's land, but in the middle of like the consolidation zone. Look here. We scroll back here a little bit. It's just not looking the greatest. I mean, they're looking like a bounce day again. Every time the cues have come down here recently to this 9 AMA, we've bounced off of it. We're in here now again. I think eventually it should break down, but it all has to do with earnings season and primarily megatech earnings coming up. You know, you got Tesla, I believe, this week. I believe next week you have Apple. If not this week, I'm not sure. I'd have to look it up. So there's a lot still. Yo, Fungus TTV, good stuff, man. Get those PAs done. Thanks, man. I still put up videos. I've been putting up videos uh almost weekly to every other week. Videos are starting to do really well. But I figured today we do a stream because there's a lot going on with Apex 3.0. And yesterday I was looking at the rules some and they were looking a little off, in my opinion. What is up with the lights? So I wanted to make sure and go over some of the rules that are coming out with Apex now. I don't think they're that terrible. Um, there's a couple there that I'm like, but we're gonna go over them later in the stream, and I'm gonna give my opinion on them and what I plan to do. All right, so let's head on over here to the futures charts. Here's your NQ. Real nice bounce off of this 340 zone. Okay, previous bounce zone, bounce zone, bounce zone. We pulled into it, super like a rubber band effect, bounced right off that level. We're fast getting up here towards 430 zone. That 430 zone could be a level of resistance. You can see here previous level of resistance, previous level of support, previous level of support, previous level of resistance. So that's definitely a level to watch there. If we get up over 430, I think you definitely got a lot of room here towards 460s, maybe even 470s and higher. If you get that squeeze going, you probably see 500. I think it's just going to be choppy though. If we do reject that 440 zone, then I think you probably get yourself back to 400 and underneath it. Um, since I expect it to be a little bit choppy, I'm going to be trading, at least starting the day off with some evaluations that I had purchased recently. I have a few here that I passed. I had two that I passed last week, and then I purchased another three. I probably got what, like 14, 15 funded accounts, including two that have over $9,000 in profit in each. So we'll see with some of these new rules. I mean, those are kind of all right, right? Because they're way above the buffer zone. They're $50,000 accounts. Then I have a $250,000 account I have multiples. I got three of those, I think. And I have one that has about $5,000, I want to say. That one was about 1,600 bucks away from reaching payout. But now it's really not. It's about $1,600 away from reaching the buffer zone, which is the new, well, one of the new rules. You can request money on anything above your buffer. So if your buffer is 2,600 bucks and you have 3,600 bucks, you can request $1,000 if you want. So yeah, we'll go over all those rules later. So there we go. We got the open, and you have the NQ here pushing into those 240s. See how it acts around there. 260 zone is that level, that the next level of resistance. All right, so there we go. We got into that 260 zone. We got into that 260 zone. Lots of volume on that push into that zone. Pulling back away from it. I don't know. I might have lighten the mood today with all these rules we want to talk about. Might lighten the mood and go with one of get one of these evaluations and try to pass them with one or two trades. See right there, if I would have gotten short in that 260, I would have passed it already. That was that 260 zone we talked about. Look at that, man, right to the penny. If this if this 420 zone holds support, you might see some bounces off of it. If we I would be wild to just see a completely failure of this push. An opening like that with a wick and then a recovery is pretty normal. And if we get over 460 and hold 460 as support, this thing could get wild and you probably see that 500 zone get tested. I see how we're trying to hold those 40s. Volume is starting to slow a little bit. So you can't get over this 493.88 zone, 494 zone on the Qs. Let's take a look at what the SPY is doing. Similar action here on the SPY. The SPY's daily looking the greatest right now. It looks like it wants to pull back. If it can pull back underneath 582.68, could see a little bit of a flush. Wow, Tesla getting slammed. Tesla getting slammed. Nvidia straight up here, right off the bell. Wow. My God, bro. Nvidia's insane. So Nvidia pushing right off the bell there, straight up 140s. That should cause the Qs to give you a little push. There it is. Apple, not looking too strong. As a matter of fact, look at that huge wick. Now we understand why the Qs did what it did at the open. Crazy wick. Back over here, we're pushing right back to the 460s. That's exactly what we were talking about earlier. 460s getting tested. Volume pretty light on that push. All right, there you go. Straight to 480 now. We said 460 get, breaks, become support. Watch for the push to 500. We're already at the 482 zone. Looking like it wants to get towards that 500 here a little bit sooner than expected, to be honest. So far, no trades for me. Damn, 490s. Okay, so the SPY got some room here towards Friday's close. Could be an area where we might be able to see a little bit of a reversal off that zone, a little bit of a pullback. Maybe if we can get up there. NQs so far getting up as high as almost 90. I mean, it's got clear room to 500. I'd imagine it would act like a magnet and just draw it towards it. Guys, remember, do me a quick favor, hit that like button. It really helps out tremendously. All right, so we're getting another pullback here, another wick. We got up over 80, almost into 90, and we're getting a wick here on this 3-minute candle. Good volume on the push. I think there's still room here. I think there's still strength. SPY on the 3-minute all the way back down towards VWAP. And you got the NQ still in front of that 80s phase. Not shying away from it. Yo, Bill. Thank you. Thank you. SPY just chopping around here. Q is looking stronger than the SPY itself. Thus, some of the chop that we might see here. That's a crazy 15-minute candle there. No buyable pullbacks so far this morning. I mean, it's only 10 minutes after the open. All right, so it looks like we're starting to get the first little pullback here. Qs as well pulling back here towards VWAP. And the SPY looking, I mean, bearish. The SPY looking bearish. Simple as that. I was really hoping to see a little bit more of a push towards 500 before considering any type of short scalp setup. And I really want to get the trading over and done with as early as possible this morning so that we can go over the Apex 3.0 rules. And if you get a pull back into this 440 zone and then hold support, it could be viable. But with the SPY about to make a new low, I don't know. Very difficult to trust. All right, SPY down to the lows. You're getting the NQ, doing a little bit of a bull flag. SPY put in a new low, trying to get a bounce off that low. While we're starting a bull flag here on the NQ. SPY finding some resistance at the VWAP. All right, we might have a little fun here soon and do one of those full port evals, 50K, look for $3,000 scalp, pass it one and done. Or you just blow it up. SPY going lower. The problem with the SPY down here is that it could easily bounce right off this zone. It's trying. It's trying to bounce. You can see it right there. So you would be excited. Oh, look, we might have a short setup here, and then all of a sudden it just rips your face off. And then it comes back and makes a new low because of chop. That happened last week countless times. We were always going over it in the Discord. Free Discord in the description section, guys. There you go. SPY new low, pushed back right back up above VWAP. It's trading like VWAP's not even a thing. That's a strong bounce, strong candle. Damn, that's a big candle. Look at the SPY go. From a fresh new low up here towards fighting towards the highs. NQ right in the face of that 480, 490, 500 zone leads you to believe that that 500 would probably not act as too much resistance. It might just get right through it. Take a look at the 15-minute chart here. We're struggling up there, but it definitely has room to 500 and over 500 rather easily. All right, guys, SPY pushing. SPY pushing right back to the highs. 14 minutes, we have a US leading index month over month for September. Have those numbers coming out. SPY looking like it's going to break the high of day. SPY, there it goes, guys. New high printed there on the day. NQ lagging behind a little bit, but right in front of the highs. So it's looking like it wants to make the push. It's got good volume. 1 hour chart shows room to 526 zone, 530. Above that, you have clear cut room to 600. Unless something crazy happens, I'd have to imagine that 530 zone would hold resistance on the NQs. Yo, Fungus TV says the safety net is going to make it hard to keep essentially. Have to make 4,600 to withdraw 2,000, which is kind of crazy. I mean, you don't, yeah, to withdraw 2,000. But remember, let's say you have $50,000 account and you have 3,100 bucks. You could withdraw 500 bucks out of multiple accounts. You know, so yeah, that's what it is. But apparently, and as far as I remember, most prop firms do have that safety net rule. I don't know all of them do, and I don't know off the top of my head which ones do and don't. I used to. I know Apex didn't, and that was one of the most attracting things they had going for them. It was the 20 accounts, which you still have ability to do, and the fact that you didn't have to leave a safety net. That's gone. I'm not a huge fan of that at all because it just means you have to work more to get to the payout zone. I have accounts right now. Like, look, let me go over here to my PAs. I have two $50,000 accounts that are in the $9,600 profit balance. So they're more than fine. But then I have a $250,000 account that has $5,296 in profits. It needed 1,300 bucks more. I would have hit 5,600 bucks. I would have taken $3,000 out. That would have left me a $3,000 cushion, which is fine. I can deal with that. You know, I had another $50,000 account here that I needed to trade another 5 days because I already taken money out of this one. So it's been trading for 15 days. I already took a withdrawal out of it. So I need another 5 days, 20 days total to get to my next withdrawal. Well, I would have needed, but it has $2,900 in it. So I don't, me personally, I'm not going to take 500 bucks out of that account. 500 bucks isn't going to do anything for me. I mean, maybe I'll do it just so that I can clock in the withdrawal, because now instead of having to trade for 4 months before you have access to 100% of the profits in your account, all you need is, take a look at the notes here. All you need is 6 payouts. So with payouts being every 8 days, every time you do 8 days of trading, you qualify for a payout. You could probably get your 6 payouts done in what, less than 2 months. So yeah, it's a little bit of a give and take on that. You know, a little bit of a give and take on that. You just gotta manage your risk. It's really making it to where you have to manage risk really, really, really good, and that's fine. You know, Managing risk is what I do. I consider myself more of a risk manager than a trader. So, the only times that risk gets out of hand for me is if I let my emotions creep in and put me on tilt, get stubborn. That's no good for anyone. So, but we'll go over more of the rules later. I'm going to bring in the Apex Discord here and possibly a video as well, and we'll go over it all together. No, self what is it? Self setter. No self setter. You can request 2,000 bucks. You're just gonna need to have, like Fungus TV was saying, 4,600. If you have $50,000 account and you have $4,600 in profit, you can get 2,000 bucks. You just have to leave 2,600 bucks in there as a buffer. I don't want to see the blowing up of the accounts, I guess, because they're supposed to transition people to live. So yeah, you can have a $2,000 payout in a $50,000 account. You just need to have 4,600 bucks in profit, so that when you take 2,000 out, you leave 2,600 buffer there, and then just rinse and repeat after 6 payouts. Which, since it's 8 days now only, you can get that done in 2 months or less, really, or rather comfortable, I would say. Then you have access to your whole account. So if you have $10,000 in profit in there, you just want to liquidate the account, you could do that. But yeah, you can still take 2,000 bucks. You just need 4,600 bucks in profit in there. You can't do 2,000 on 2,600. Yeah, once you're in a live account, as far as I've understood it, and we're gonna go over all the rules later in the stream directly from their website and their Discord, or maybe both. Once you're in a live cash money account and you're trading and your orders are going into the exchange, there's no rules anymore. There's no buffer, there's no rules, none of that. And they didn't touch upon this, but I've seen, and I have, I think, another video that I have a video that's already edited. It has to do with the prop firm regulations. It's coming up. I think you're allowed 3 live accounts, meaning 3 live, not PAs, not sim funded, live cash money accounts. I think you're allowed 3, if I'm not mistaken, with Apex and a few other firms. I'm not sure. Don't quote me 100% on that. We'll try to figure that answer out later. There you go. NQs to 500, like we talked about. Not one singular pullback to buy for a bounce, in my opinion, unless you're trading a tick chart. If you go over to the SPY chart, look at that thing. Chop, 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 chop. And then we break up above VWAP after making a brand new low, push a brand new high. That's bullish as hell. And now you're trying to hold that 9 AMA zone. Let's take a look at the Qs here real quick. The Qs, you had that crazy 3-minute candle at the open, and then a little push sideways action for about 9-12 minutes. Another push. No real patterns, no real setups, in my opinion. Yeah, it's just straight up. All right, so we're at that 500 zone. I'd imagine you'd get some sort of pullback off this zone, but that's what I would imagine. Doesn't mean it has to happen because we really have room to 530. All right, so 480 is being tested there. You got that little push to 500. I thought about trying to get short in the eval there at 500 zone and try to scalp that move down to 480, but I didn't get the chance to do it. And I'm pretty damn sure that if we break back up over 500, we're going to make the push to 530. I think that's where I'll probably consider getting a short, and that's just shorting that that push into the resistance for a quick scalp. It's not something I do often in that fashion, but in the evaluation here, since I'm trying to get it done in 1 or 2 trades, and we're just trying to have a little fun this morning here before we go into the rules with Apex 3.0. I might just go for that, try to get that scalp done, and move on. But so far, 500 has failed pretty strong there. I still have the soundboard. This 480 zone could be a decent little area to scalp along, at least for a few points. Yeah, there you go. 480 right back to 493. It didn't struggle bust there at 500, but I don't know. I just don't think that's, I could be wrong. You know, maybe it doesn't get to 530. Looking at the daily chart here, plenty of resistance here in this 500 area recently. If it breaks up over 500, then yeah, it's probably game on. So 530s to even higher. But 500 would have to hold resistance. I'm sorry, it would have to break out and then hold support. Could go either way, to be honest. Got the SPY back at the VWAP zone. You got it at the VWAP zone. I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna give it a shot here. A little bit of a contrarian trade. Probably blow up the eval, to be honest. A little bit of a contrarian trade, but worth it to give it a shot. It's gonna be a one. What is it? A hero or zero type of trade. Either we get the eval passed here really quickly, or not. It's looking like it's gonna blow. Looking like we're gonna get over 500 after all. I was actually thinking that we might not, because look at the SPY. SPY is super lazy, like here at the VWAP. Looking like it wants to break down. And if we get that breakdown like that, I was thinking we would get that drop on the NQs. But the NQs right in the face of that 500 zone. So far holding resistance, but it's not dropping, not dropping like it's hot. That's what we want to see. We want to see it drop like it's hot. Try to get this eval passed in one trade. Now, this is not something I recommend anybody do. I do it. I have a pretty decently high win rate, but it's not. You won't catch me trading this way in my cash account or in my funded PAs with any firm. I don't trade this way. But with the eval, especially on the stream, figured we'd have a little fun, see what happens. If I lose it, no big deal. 33 bucks or whatever the hell it was that cost. We'll talk. We'll think of it like firing off some fireworks. Can we get her done? Can we double top this 500 and then get ourselves a pullback back down there towards the 60s? Or do we bounce off this level, rip face off through 500, go to 530s, blow up this evaluation, and then we can move on, talk about Apex 3.0. So we had numbers that came out at 10. Those did absolutely nothing. They clearly meant nothing. US leading index month over month forecasted at negative 0.03%. We ended up with a negative 0.5%. Previous was 0.3%. And no other news coming up here. We're back at the 500. This is not looking good. SPY bouncing off of the VWAP, looking like it's going to push those highs. You know, went after the contrarian trade there. I'm not a contrarian trader. You know, if anything, should have bought the 80s and sold the 500 push. But instead, I got short on the rejection of the 500. And we might end up paying the price for it. Might end up, might not. It's anyone's guess at this point. It's more of a 50-50. And I don't like trading 50-50s when it's all about making money. In the eval, I'll take the gamble here and there. But in the PAs and in an actual regular funded, live money account of my own, I don't trade 50-50s. So you won't catch me trading 50-50s. There it goes. She's gone. You won't catch me trading 50-50s in my PAs. Never. Put me in those 70-40 trades. This one right here was a 50-50 in either direction. But I'll only do those in an eval. Shaq. Man, I never know how to pronounce your name. I always mess it up. My bad. I'm sorry. But hello. Hope you're doing well, bud. Well, SPY bouncing right off that VWAP there. I'm going to give you guys what I'm going to be doing most likely for the rest of the week here for myself. I'll probably just trade sporadically with an eval here and there, and that's about it. Historically, for me, I don't trade well during earnings season, and I have across 13, 14 accounts. What is this? Over $30,000 in profits that I'm going to freaking protect. So chances are that I'm going to take it rather easy this week trading in the PAs. I'm going to take some time to work on the couple evals I probably have left there and chill about it this week, get some content back up on the channel, and just wait out the earnings season, because like I'm saying, historically, and when I say historically, I'm using data from for years now. I don't trade well during earnings season because the market tends to move a lot in chop and sideways action, and I don't do well in that. I don't do well in that. See, let me show you something here on the SPY real quick. I did very well in here. I did very well in here. I did very well in all of this. Again, I did very well in here and in here. That's where I've done very well. Where have I not done well? I'll show you. I did okay, but not super well in this sideways garbage. In this sideways garbage, I didn't do much of anything. So there's some traders that'll do amazing in this channel type environment. That's not me. And because I know that, I'm not going to push myself this week, and I'll probably wait until next week and look into it. Hell, I might, look into trading another eval with another firm and just test some waters out, do some videos for you guys, because like I said, I have over $30,000 in profits across multiple accounts, and I'm not looking to give that up in chop. Now, if I lose some of that trading normal setups that I like to trade, by all means, that's called getting stopped out. But getting chopped up, nah, I'm not about that. Okay, so with that said, let's move over now and let's talk about the Apex 3.0 deal. All right, there we go. We got it cooking here. All right. So here's the Discord. Guys, my Discord completely free down there in the description section, okay? As a matter of fact, I'll get you the link. Boom, free Discord. Come on by, join. I trade there every single morning with the team, and we talk about the charts, the levels, stocks, and just general BS. So there's the free Discord in the chat. All right. So this is Apex's Discord channel. Okay, this is their announcement zone. Yeah, there you go, Fungus TV. That's a no-brainer. You know what I mean? That's 10K. You're putting $10,000 in your pocket. You know, if you get to the point where you have that $4,600, and now you can comfortably take out $2,000 and have a good buffer to continue trading those accounts, then bang, homie, you pay yourself 40K. Bro, do you know how many people work an entire year to make $40,000? Sometimes I think we lose perspective. This month alone, I took out in payouts. Oh wait, I can just tell you. Hold on, I was gonna try to like remember it. Just hop on over here to my payout window. Okay, so payouts. This month I took out October $6,000 in payouts. You know how many people work 3 months to make $6,000? It's all about perspective. Exactly, my man. All right, so let's look at these rules. It's kind of like a little bit of a bullet point that they placed here on their Discord. Okay, so we can watch the full video together if you guys want, but for now, let's just go over these bullet points. So we'll go over these bullet points here on Apex 3.0. So starting October 21st, which is today, all right, here are the key changes and new requirements, and these apply for PA accounts. Okay, these do not apply for a live funded account where you're a live funded prop firm trader. This is for your PA, which is the step before that. And this doesn't affect evaluations. Okay, again, it's just for the PAs. Your evaluations are not affected by this at all. Your live account where you're trading in the open market is not affected by this. This is only for the PAs. No more payout windows. That's good. That's a benefit. We like that, right? There's no more payout windows. Remember, it used to be the 1st through the 5th or the 15th through the 20th. That's no longer the case. Now, as long as you have 8 trading days in the account you're requesting a payout, you can request your payout. Obviously, so as long as you're above the threshold. So 8 trading days required. Only 5 of those 8 days need to have $100 profit. I think pretty much all of us make over $100, in those 8 days, 5 of those days at a minimum. I'm pretty damn sure. No more flipping rule. So as long as you have the 8 days, there's no more flipping rule as long as 5 of those are over 100 and you reach your threshold. And of course, you're within the 30% consistency rule, right? Now you're allowed to DCA and it's unlimited. That's wild to me. I'm really surprised at that. But I guess when you couple in all the other rules that come into play, it makes sense that it's fine to allow that. So as long as you manage your risk correctly, you're not going to be affected. Like you'll be able to unlimited DCA, dollar cost averaging. That means adding to your losers, right? Before they were allowing you to add one time to a losing position. So let's say you opened up a trade short on the NQ, you took one lot, it went against you, but, and I've done this, it went into the next resistance zone, and that's your line in the sand zone because above that you would stop out. That's how I would trade it. Then you can add there again. And you didn't have to add just one contract. If you had just added opened with one, you could have added 2 or 3 contracts. So as long as you were within your parameters. Now, just unlimited, unlimited. And then 100% withdrawal is available after the 6th payout and onward. That means that you can take out all the profits. So let's say you have a $50,000 account, and that $50,000 account, you have $4,600 in profits. That means you can take out $2,000 anytime that you've hit the 8 days. But now let's say you've grown that account. Okay, you've grown that account and you've reached $10,000 in profit. You've been able to take 6 payouts and you still have $10,000. You can take out all 10K if you want. Now, here is where things start to get a little bit different and where some people have been complaining. And I mean, obviously, I don't blame them overall. But if you sit and you think about this and you think about it with a level mind, not allowing emotions to dictate your decision making, you'll see that it's not as bad. Why? Because most of the firms out there have these rules. Now, I understand, right, 100%, that Apex didn't have these. And that's what made them attractive. Wholeheartedly, I get it. That's why I came to Apex to start, because my search was looking for the best prop firm for brand new traders. But now you have a safety net requirement, and you're only allowed to take the profits up above that safety net. So for example, your safety net is your minimum goal that you were used to be for your withdrawal. With a $50,000 account, that means you needed 2,600 and you could withdraw up to 2,000. That is no longer the case. Now, when you reach 2,600, you can withdraw anything above that. So let's say you reach 2,600, you keep trading, right? You're 8 days into this, you're 9 days or 10 days, whatever. It's 8 days to request. You're 8 days into this and you've reached $3,100 in profit. The weekend is here. You want to take out some money because you want some walking around money. You can pull out $500. It brings you back down to your buffer of 2,600. You can continue trading. You reach $4,600. You want to take out 2,000. You can take out 2,000. You reach 10,000. You want to take out 2,000. You can take out 2,000. The only time you can take out more than 2,000 in this case is after you've done 6 withdrawals. And that was always the case. You were never allowed to take out more than 2,000, right, in your accounts until you reached the max. And that's just what it is. So now we understand that safety net. They increased the risk to reward ratio. You guys remember it used to be 4-to-1, meaning you can risk $4 or $400 to make $100. To me, that always sounded crazy. Why? Because I risk, 1 to 3. Yeah, I don't always land on 3, meaning I don't always risk 100 to make 300. Sometimes I only make 100. Sometimes I make 200. Sometimes I get stopped out and lose 100 or lose 150. So that's just, to me, that's never been a thing that I worried about because I don't have that weird reverse risk ratio. I don't have that. But now they're allowing you to risk $500 to make 100. So do with that as you will. Now you have a scaling plan. Before they didn't have this. This does not really affect me, so it's not something I put thought into. But I know some people aren't going to like it because they like to go max balls to the wall out the gates. No longer the case. I believe now the way it works is 50%. So if you're allowed to trade 10 contracts in your account, at the start, you're only allowed to trade 5 of them. 5 contracts, because if I'm not mistaken, it's 50% that you're allowed to trade. And you're allowed to scale that up to regular size as you put profit on in your account. Okay, consistency rule. Before, the 30% was something where it was not a hard and fast rule, meaning it was left up to interpretation. They would look at your account, they would look at your history and be like, okay, well, we can see that that day you just let your winner ride a little bit more because it was trending. And okay, no problem. Here's your payout. Now, moving forward, that is no longer going to be the case ever. So you want to stay within that consistency rule. What does that mean? Well, 30%. Let's say you have $10,000 in profit. No one day should be over $3,000 in profit. That's it. So no one day where you allowed to make over 3,000 bucks. Guys, this could be as simple as if you made 3,500 bucks, enter another trade and lose 600 bucks. Get yourself back under 3,000. Sounds wild. But if you're worried about it, that's what you do. If you're not worried about it, then you just keep trading. You have the skill set. You get yourself above that 30% and you're good to go. You get your profit balance above that 30% and you're good to go. All right, so that's your consistency rule right here. Here is a brand new rule. This thing was what broke the internet yesterday on Twitter, because Apex, I love them, but they have a hard time in communicating. And when they said unrealized losses cannot exceed 30% of your total profit, may void profits of that trade, it broke Twitter. It broke X, it broke Facebook, it broke YouTube, because they were not specific with it. And I'll explain. It led to where if you had $10,000, you couldn't risk more than $3,000 unrealized in a trade. Okay, who the freaking hell's out there doing that anyways? But it left it to where if you opened up a brand new account, you're trading it on day one, right? And you made 100 bucks. Does that mean that tomorrow, when I wake up and I'm going to sit down and trade and my account is 50,100, my total profit in the account is 100 bucks, am I not allowed to risk more than $30? Insanity. That is not the case. The case is that this 30% rule works with your unrealized trailing draw, okay? Until you hit the threshold. Let's use a $50,000 account as an example. In a $50,000 account, your unrealized or your threshold, give me 1 second here because I don't really know it off the top of my head, is 2,500 bucks. Okay, so 2,500 bucks, that means you're allowed to risk 750 bucks per trade. So if the account now is 50,100, it's still the 750. If the account now is 51,000, it's still the 750. Okay, if you are at 52,000, it's still 750. So you don't want that unrealized to hit 750 bucks, meaning it shouldn't, right? It really shouldn't hit that. Just be mindful, watch it. I don't like watching my unrealized P&L, and I'll tell you why, because it messes with emotions. So I tend to not watch it, but I tend to know my risk parameters. And I know that if I enter a trade and I have a 10-point stop and I have one lot, I'm going to lose 200 bucks. So that's not going to bother me. And if I have two lots, I'm going to lose 400 or 500 bucks. So I'm not going to reach that 750. Okay. So just make sure that you're aware of that. And that's how that works. No, there's no reason to freak out about it anymore because now we have clarity on it. It's going to be utilizing your trailing drawdown until you reach your threshold. Once you reach your threshold and above, it just utilizes your total profit in the account. So that actually increases, right? If you get up and over threshold, okay, and you request some money, then you have a red trade and you get back under threshold, guess what? In the 50,000, it's 750. So you go back to utilizing your not your threshold, your trailing draw, or in this case, it is your thresh. It's just that total number again. You go back to what you had originally started with. Sounds crazy confusing, but it's really not. Okay. No drastic and consistent sizing allowed. They meant this to, because I'll trade one lot and I'll add 2, 3 to them, right? And I normally trade 3 or 4 lots. Like you'll see me trade up to 3 or 4 lots, sometimes 5. You rarely ever see me go above that. So it's not talking about that. It's talking about where you come in and today you traded 8 lots, 5 lots, you made a bunch of money, and then you just started trading 1 lot from there on out, or you trade one micro from then on out and stuff like that. They don't want to see that. They want you to just trade like a regular trader. Nobody does that in a cash account. In essence, it's crazy to me. And I close my eyes and I put my hand on my head because they just want, and like every firm, honestly, they want you to trade your freaking PAs and your live funded accounts like you would if it was your money and your trade of eight. That's really what it comes down to. Okay. Monitoring and compliance. Day 6 task team will identify red flags to prevent payout issues. Meaning on day 6, if you've broken rules or something seems off, you should be contacted um, by their team that identifies these things, so that when you get to day 8 and you put in a payout, you're not caught off guard. They don't want that. And then you have your probation. It's all the same thing. It allows you to fix mistakes and clean up your act. Maximum adverse excursion, tracking implemented to compare with realized profits. Oh, yes, yes, yes. So there's a software now. Let's say you disagree with them. There's a software now that you can use. It's not their software. It's another company's software where it'll bring all your data in. It's like a trade journal. And then you can say, hey, look, I didn't violate the 30% rule on the unrealized stuff, right? I didn't violate it. Here's the proof. If that's the case, then boom, you win. If it's not the case, then hey, they're not going to fire you, right? They're not going to cancel your account. It's just fix it, move on. And they want you to trade in a defined system. You know, I mean, shit, man, that's how we're supposed to trade to begin with, right? Like if you trade reversals, you have your system on how you trade it. If you trade chart setups and patterns, then you have your system on how you trade chart setups and patterns, like a bull flag, a bear flag, a descending wedge, an ascending wedge, and all that fun stuff. So it's just it. And honestly, I don't think we need to go over anything else. I think that's pretty cut, clear, and concise, right? You don't even need to go watch the video, in my opinion, but you can. Um, I think that's it. I think that's pretty cut and clear. Now, definitely what I want to do is here in the live stream, because this is going to be a video I'm going to post up on YouTube here in the live stream. If you guys have questions, let's jump into them. All right, let me read here. So 2K is max per payout until in a $50,000 account. In a $250,000 account, then it's 3,000. Shark, it definitely ripped all the way up there towards in front of 560. Thing's just insane. My Fiji water is done. I still have 2 bottles in the fridge. I want more. All right, guys. So any questions about the new rules? I'm sure there has to be. Ask away. If I don't know the answer, then we'll try to find it together. Shark says, you're the best, Jesse. One of the only people in this space I can trust. Thanks for all the info over the years. Yo, man, my pleasure completely. You know what's funny? And when you say that, I think about other influencers and whatnot constantly promoting their courses. Guys, so many people don't even know I have courses. I freaking have courses, bro, but I don't promote them. I made more money this month trading than I did from anything affiliate, anything course related, any commissions, any YouTube ad revenue. It's crazy. I mean, that's just bad marketing on my part. That's just terrible marketing on my part. Any of you guys expert marketers who want to help me out here, we can make a deal. Friggin' A, man. But the reality is, yesterday, I'm gonna be frank with you guys. Yesterday, when these rules dropped and I started seeing people go crazy on Twitter, the one that bothered me the most was the unrealized negative 30%. Because it wasn't clear. Because I fell to that. I was like, okay, well, what are you freaking telling me here? I have PA accounts right now, $50,000 ones that have $1,000 in profit only in them. So are you telling me that I can only have like $300 in risk? That's wild to me. It's not, because generally speaking, my risk per trade is about 300, but I allow wiggle room. So like you're telling me, oh, we get to 375. My pattern is still intact, but I have to close out the trade because my unrealized P&L, that I had a huge problem with that. But then they came out and they clarified the rule, stating very simple that that's not how it works. You know, if you're underneath threshold, then it's $750. I was like, oh, in a $50,000 account. I was like, oh, okay, not a problem then. It's not a problem because I trade in the system. You know, I trade like a trader's supposed to trade, managing risk. So that means that in a $50,000 account, I can only take out $500 when I make it to 2,600. No, you cannot take out anything at 2,600 bucks. 2,600 bucks is going to be your buffer, meaning the only time ever that you're going to be able to get that $2,600 out of that account and put it in your pocket is the day that you liquidate the account. And you will be able to liquidate the account if you choose to when you reach the sixth or the seventh payout, right? Because the sixth payout is when you're allowed to take out 100% of your profits. So you want to take out 500 bucks, you're going to have to get to 3,100 bucks. You get to 3,100, you pull out 500 bucks, put it in your pocket, and now you're back at your 2,600 buffer. That 2,600 buffer is supposed to be there to help you not blow up your account. That's in essence what it is. And let's be real, because I've blown up accounts. I've gotten to 2,800 bucks. Thank you. Cuban coffee has arrived. I spilled some. Friggin' A. I've gotten to, at 2,600, 2,800, took out 2,000 bucks and blow up the account. Not on purpose. It happened because there's not enough wiggle room, especially if you're trading minis on the NQs like me. So typically I try to get to 3,000 and then I try to take out 1,500 and then here, baby, can you take this and clean it for me? And then give me, thank you. So I can hear the dust in my head. Love you. So I try to, what I do now in a $50,000 account is I take out only $1,500 to $1,000 so that I leave myself a cushion of a little over $1,000. If I have a little over $1,000 and the market's still trending in my favor, then it's no problem. I literally have another account here with 2,900 bucks that I had already taken out 1,500 and I built it back up to 2,900. So that's the purpose of the 2,600 bucks, so that people start blowing up the accounts after taking out a withdrawal. You leave that buffer there. 2,600 bucks for a trader that knows what they're doing, that doesn't allow emotions to creep up on them at any given day, should be plenty to be able to work their way back up. Okay, that's at least in my opinion. Oh my God, this is delicious. This is the nectar of superheroes. Cuban coffee. All right, let's see. Bernard says, so if I take $500 from 3,100 and now I have $2,600 in, does that mean when I make 3,100, I can take $500? And yes, boom, nailed it. You can do that. And then when you hit whoa, where did my screens go? And then when you hit that next payout after the sixth time, you want to liquidate the account and take out 2,600 bucks, you take out 2,600 bucks. And I mean, that's how I read the rules. And that's basically kind of like what I'm hearing them say. Now, chances are you're not going to want to do that. You're going to want to build it up a little bit, because if you're that consistent, then you might take out 500 bucks the first time, pay yourself or buy some more accounts, or whatever, right? Go off for the weekend and enjoy some time with the family. 500 bucks, people will be like, oh, you can't do nothing with 500 bucks. Well, I mean, if you have a family of 6, no, but a family of 3 or 4 with 500 bucks, you can enjoy a Saturday. Hell yeah, you enjoy a good ass Saturday, right? And depending where you live as well. So you put yourself 500 bucks in your pocket. You have a 2,600 balance now of cushion. And then the next time you get to 3,500, you pull out 500, you leave 3,000, and you scale up your trading And before you know it, you got 7,000, 8,000, 9,000 bucks. I'm gonna tell you right now. I have two $50,000 accounts. I have more than two $50,000 accounts, but I have two of them. The one I'm going to talk about right now, I have two $50,000 accounts that, damn it, clicked eval charts instead of PA charts. One has $9,685 in 19 days of trading. The other one has $9,655 in 19 days of trading. I copy trade them. I use them together. Like I trade them together. Then I have the other one that I just told you guys about. It has 15 days of trading and it has $2,971. But I took out $1,500 on October 2nd on that one. So I took out $1,500. I had a balance in that account of $52,619, meaning I had $2,619 in profits. The next day I took out $1,500. Okay. And I built it back to where now I have $2,971 in profit. Then I have a few here where I have over $1,000, 500, 700, 1,300. A few, I got 250K accounts. One has 5,200. Another one has 3,800. And another one has zero balance. I had three of those. Apex need to work more on customer service and connection with people because they would be in big problems without you guys that stream and explain this rule. Bernard, I am 1,000, my friend, 1,000% in agreement. Like I said earlier, yesterday when these rules dropped, I look, I was not going to be on social media going crazy. Are we traders? Are we adults or are we petulant children? I get other firms taking advantage of it and pushing, a little bit of drama. I get that. But let's be real here. There was no way in the world, like I would have been flabbergasted that 30% unrealized rule. There was no way in the world that was going to be working outside of the drawdown because you cannot expect a trader to in a $50,000 account to make $100 today and then tomorrow only risk $30 in a trade. No, bro, that's not how it's going to ever work. That cannot work. So like the fact that people were obscenely pissed about that on YouTube and on Twitter and on Facebook yesterday either shows that they're just farming engagement and or they don't know what trading is supposed to be like because that doesn't make any sense. No professional firm ever in the history, even in this type of prop firm world, is going to do that. That doesn't make any sense. So in my mind, I said, guys, I think this is going to have to deal with your trailing drawdown until you hit threshold. I said it in a comment to somebody that asked me. I think it was Fungus TV, maybe TTV, or somebody else asked me yesterday on YouTube here in a comment section. I don't know if it was in the community section or in one of my videos or where. And that my answer was, I think that has to do with your trading drawdown until you reach threshold. Then it kicks in after that with the threshold. But let's wait until Apex clears it up. And last night Apex cleared it up in another follow-up video they made. So that's what I'm thinking, But they've confirmed it and that's what it is. But yeah, they gotta improve on how they bring this information out. They got to improve on it because they're hurting themselves and they're stressing out traders. Because if you really sit down and look at these rules, they're not terrible. They're just not terrible. They're almost like any other firm, which from a marketing standpoint, if you put me in the boardroom at Apex and these rules come out, let's play a game. Let's play a game. If you put me in the boardroom at Apex and these rules come out and we're discussing them, what would you have done differently, Jesse? Well, first, let me explain why I would have done this, what I would have done differently and why, right? Let's do the why first. The why is Apex was always different from every other firm because they had less rules. So it was less to remember. When I look at these rules don't affect me very much other than I have to have a bigger buffer to get payouts. because I'm a very disciplined trader and I have a system where I don't risk 5 to 1 like they allow you to. I risk 1 for 3, 1 for 2, 1 for 1.5. That's how I trade. So, in essence, these rules don't affect me. But it's an onslaught of things that I need to remember. When I first started trading with Apex, I brought it onto YouTube here to my viewers because I thought it was the best firm for a new trader. Why? Because it had the least amount of rules that you had to remember. You didn't need a notepad to remember them all. Frankly, if you trade like me, you don't have to remember these anyways. But if you don't trade like me, well, what can I tell you? If you do want to trade like me, link in the description section to my course and my full curriculum. I'll teach you everything that I know. But most people, a lot of people don't want to trade like that. They want to trade with that crazy 5 to 1 or 4 to 1 where they risk $500 to make 100. I don't understand that. I don't get it. But what would I have done? I would have said, guys, okay, we're going to bring out some of these rules. No problem. I get it. The hard consistency rule cannot be 30%. The community wanted 40%. A lot of other firms do 40%. Some don't even do it. If we're going to be so strict on everything else, let's move this consistency rule to 40%. Why punish a trader that let a trend on the chart run? And a good trader knows when to cut their losers and knows when to let their winners run. Simple as that. So I would have moved that to 40% instead of 30. And then I probably would not have done the unrealized 30% one, not because of anything else other than it's just another rule to remember. But if we're going to put it in there, I would hardwire it into the system so it auto liquidates the trader's trade. That's it. That's what I would have done. Oh, Jesse, that's what I would have done. I think it would save the trader the headache of having to look at their unrealized P&L. Looking at your unrealized P&L can make you trade poorly because it'll make you trade your P&L. I don't trade my P&L. I trade the chart setups and the chart patterns. But again, I fall back to where I'm telling you, I don't let chart patterns or chart setups, I don't trade them in the fashion where I would be affected by that 30% unrealized losses. Okay. But anyways, that's the only changes I would have made to this, guys. Let me see. Looking at them again a little bit. 6 payout is cool. Unlimited DCA, whatever. I don't really do that anyways. Day trading, no more payout windows. That's the only thing I would have changed. Everything else is fine. I would have changed that. So yeah, like if you ask me, hey Jesse, what's one thing you would change on this right now? 40%. I would not do 30% consistency. I would do 40% consistency rule. Done. That's what I would do. But yeah, I mean, overall, guys, it's not that bad. Now, let me get something here. Oh, we're getting a deeper pullback here. Should have waited for those. See, guys, remember I said I might wait for those 230s to 260s to get tested for the short on the eval. Should have freaking done that. See what happens when you don't wait for your plan. I was in a hurry. I wanted to get this Q&A done with the Apex 3.0, and I blew up an evaluation because of it. And then I spilt freaking coffee. Delicious, delicious coffee. All right, now, with all of that said, I want you guys to still understand something. I like to do what is best for my community always. Okay. And I've been accused of getting paid by Apex, like to do videos and streams and whatnot. Look, man, look, hold on. Let me see if my cool new little camera will work properly. There it is. Look, guys, they don't pay me outside of my affiliate commissions, like all the other firms. They don't pay me per video. But if they or any other firm that is quality, because I've been approached by other firms and I've rejected them, at them or any other firm that's quality wants to pay me to make a video, guess what? I'm gonna freaking do it because it's money. But you're gonna know that I'm getting paid for that because that's the actual law here in the US. If it's a paid promotion, you must let your viewers know. So unless you see me tell you, or you see a banner that says paid promotion, I'm not getting paid to make this video or any other video. And I would only get paid, or I would only take that payment from a firm that I trust. Because I've been approached by other firms, they don't like them. I said no. I said no to money. Why? Because I value my name more than money. Money, bro, I can make money every day, any day. Been doing it for almost 20 years. Okay. I'm not going to give up my name for money. That's bullshit. Okay. So when people say that in streams and in comment sections, you don't know who you're talking to. You don't know who you're talking about. And you clearly don't understand regulations in the US. All right. So no, I am not getting paid. I'll tell you frankly, I wish I was getting paid for this freaking video. But I like to do what I like to do for my community. So you don't want to trade with Apex anymore. Don't trade with Apex. Trade it with somebody else. Now, let me see. How do I zoom back out of this thing? Get me out of this thing. I don't want to zoom it. Don't zoom me. Stop zoom. Now I don't know how to get it to unzoom, guys. I broke the camera. This is what happens when I use tech. How do I unzoom this thing? Forgot. I think you're supposed to do the same. Hey, got it. We're learning. So, if you want to trade with another firm, here are the firms that I'm affiliated with. Oh, it's too many words. They won't let me do it all. Okay, that's not a problem. So, we'll fix this. And it's all the same coupon code, okay? Use the same coupon code for all of them. First one is Apex. Then you have Take Profit Trader. And then you have My Funded Futures. I haven't tried them yet myself, but I've seen enough people review them and I've talked to them themselves enough to know that they seem to be up and up. And I mean, honestly, I like them. I'm going to definitely do an account with them here pretty soon. There you go. And then I also have one more firm here. That would be Earn to Trade. These are the only firms I'm affiliated with. And like I'm telling you, even though my channel's not huge, I get approached by firms all the time. And these are the only people that I have been okay working with because I've done my research, done my due diligence, and felt comfortable with them. Very recently, I was going to look at one of these newer straight to funded firms. A lot on social media I didn't like, a lot of stuff, a lot of like miscommunication, like they didn't get back to me. It took forever, this or that, and just a lot of stuff I didn't like about that specific firm. It's not going to be named at this time because I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. That might be one of my faults, to be honest. But I like to. I mean, look, guys, I've been an entrepreneur. I've been self-employed for right about 20 years at this point. So when I go into a deal, I go into the deal giving the other side of the table the benefit of the doubt. But I'm from South Florida, guys. Everybody down here wants to be a shark. Everybody, the guppies think that they're sharks. So I always go into deals ready to be backstabbed. So you're barely ever gonna catch me with a knife in my back. It's if you catch me, they were damn good if they were able to get me. I've been got once. Many years ago at one of the first businesses I ran, and they caught me for like about $3,000. But ever since then, pretty damn good record. So I tend to be very careful with who I do business with. So I'm giving that other firm benefit of the doubt in the meanwhile, but I'm not going to promote them. I'm not going to name them yet. I'm going to let them run. I'm going to see what they're going to do. Because I'm not going to, some other people, some other YouTubers have attached their names to that firm already. You know, they're making millions. I don't want to give up my name. Like, this shit you put on the internet's forever. My kid, one day, will be, she loves it when she sees me on TV. One day, she's going to see videos like this. She's going to hear, you know, about what dad did. Yo, bro. No, she ain't never going to hear some bull crap that her dad tried to scam somebody. That's garbage. You know what I mean? So, no. Those are the only firms that I'm comfortable with. All right. Let me see here. Damn, that dump is freaking delicious, bro. But it's, you know what sucks about it? We had straight up and then we had straight down. No pattern. There's no pattern. All right, Bernard, let's see what's up. Jesse, can you explain one more time the unrealized losses cannot exceed 30% on a 50? Of course. And it's really simple. Ooh, water. It's a lot simpler than they made it out to be. Okay. So let's say we're going to go from zero to profit. Okay. Let's say you have a $50,000 account. You just converted it to a PA today. You know what we're going to do? We're going to record this. So Bernard says, Jesse, can you explain one more time? Unrealized losses cannot exceed 30% on a $50,000 account. Thank you. Yes. Let's say you start a brand new PA today, $50,000 balance. You make $100. Okay. Tomorrow, when you open up your account in the morning, you're going to have 50,100, right? Initially, people thought, oh, so I can't risk $100 of that profit? I mean, I can't risk more than 30% of that profit? Are you telling me that my unrealized P&L cannot hit more than $30 in the red? That's crazy. That's insane. So Apex came back out and said, no, that is not the case. We did not communicate this correctly. From the moment that you have a $50,000 balance to the moment that you hit your buffer, which is 2,600, you're allowed to risk 30% of the unrealized 30% of your trailing drawdown. Your trailing drawdown is $2,500. 30% of that is $750. Okay, so from 50,000 to 50,200, 52,600, you're allowed to risk unrealized on a trade $750. The moment you surpass 2,600 in buffer, now it's just that buffer, right? So let's say now you have 2,700. So 2,700, 30% of that is $810. Now your risk, instead of being $750 unrealized in a trade, is now $810. Okay. Now you drop back underneath buffer. You go right back to $750. You've continued making profit. You have $10,000 in profit in your account. That risk now is $3,000 because you have $10,000. You see how that works? What time is it? Wow. We've been streaming for almost well, we've been streaming for over an hour. Polum, welcome to the Discord. Glad to have you on there. Guys, free Discord. Just come join me. I don't stream every day on YouTube, but I'm in the Discord every single day. Man. Damn. I was just straight down the spine, just got absolutely hammered. Look at this. Absolutely hammered the SPY. Hughes as well. I'm actually might wait for a little bounce. See if it's shortable. Little shortable bounce into that 440. I think we just got it. Fudge. Missed on the entry. At 440 to 460 zone could be a level of resistance. But right now, you got a lot of momentum to the downside. Big volume on that drop. I might trade another eval here, give it another one and done or type of try. Typically, I only do one or two of those in a day. Guys, oh, we're gonna get the move. It could be choppy. I just need 15 points to pass the eval. It's not like I need the whole move, or like what I would normally look for. Not that I look for whole moves. Remember, your job as a trader isn't to capture an entire move. It's to identify a pattern, trade it, manage your risk, take profits. Looking for this area here, which is right around that 460 zone on the NQs. Maybe it gets up there, rejects, and we got another drop. Maybe it just rips everybody's face off and I lose two evals back to back. But I think it might be worth a try. I'd like to see a little bit more of a push. I'd really prefer to see a little bit more of a push. See, the SPY bounced off of this support zone from Friday. Clear as day, you see that. 440 still holding resistance. A lot of weakness here. There's definitely a lot of weakness going on here. I might regret this, but I'm going to give it a shot here. We're looking for 3,000 bucks. Where's my mouse? We almost got it. I hate moving the still cursor. Let's see if we can get it. Maybe we'll see it happen, or maybe we'll see the the unrealized trailing drawdown on the evaluation punish me. It's very possible. Wouldn't be the first time. It might actually punish me. There it is. It freaking punished me. You see what I'm saying? I hate that thing sometimes. It freaking punished me, and I bet you anything, the trade's gonna go. Unreal. That's bogus. I like that trade. I might give it another shot in an eval. I mean, in my funded account. So we're short here from 23. My stop is over this 40 zone. I'm giving up 20 points here in possible uh, risk. If I get stopped out again, then that's it. That's just the name of the game. I will possibly add up here. That's really where I want to get short. Or I'll add possibly as well on the break underneath 1110 area, 410, 411 area. I'm not going to be extra greedy. Just being stubborn. Doesn't want to break down. Might stop me out. And that's one of my go-to trades right here. I wouldn't be surprised to get stopped out here over 40, see this thing rip to 60 and then turn around. But I'm not going to trade that mess. It's not breaking down. Almost 11 a.m. here. Got a few seconds to 11 a.m. Really would like to just see this thing get back down to retest those 400s. This is one of my go-to setups. So when I saw it, I had to jump on it. Unreal. What we got going for it on the good side is we got those higher lows coming into play. Sorry, lower highs coming into play. If we can get those lower highs to continue, we break underneath 20, we have a shot. But if it continues to hold above 20, we could see this thing break back up over 40. I'll have to take the L. And then we might see it probably get back down there to the lows later on, which will suck because, you're right, but it chopped you out. But I have to stick to that risk. The resistance is clear at 40, so I can't hold it to 60 or 80. That's insanity. I have to stop out over 40. And I'm going to be quicker on the takes because lately we're not getting a whole lot of follow through. So I'm going to be quicker on the take profits than I normally am. Come on. Oh, it will not break down under 20. Stubborn as hell. Break down under 20 already. There we go. I'm gonna just take a little piece off there just to get some risk off the table. All right, we're down to one piece now. We're up nicely. There we go. There we go. No. I don't want you to take off just yet. No. Don't be bouncing back so hard. Get back under 400, you bastard. All right, I don't like that bounce. 480 bucks times 2 accounts. We blew up 2 evaluations, okay? But we made 480 bucks times 2 account. Basically $1,000. I did it right in front of you guys. On an actual setup where your risk was clearly defined, your profit targets were clearly defined. I mean, I don't understand why it didn't continue there a little bit deeper. I guess because 400 and we're trying to bounce it. I think it goes deeper into the red from here. But I wasn't gonna. I requested payouts on these accounts, so I wasn't gonna screw around with them too much. But 480 times two accounts. These accounts now were $50,000 accounts. Now they're six. Now their current balance is over $60,000. I don't have a Lambo, but I do have a water Lambo, a 200 and something $1,000 30-foot catamaran. So some people spend their money on other stuff. Anyways, that's going to be it for me as far as trading goes today. What time is it? 11 in the morning. I'm kind of glad we got that trade. Oh, I didn't record the freaking trade. I didn't record it. Are you kidding me? Oh, well. It is what it is. 480 bucks times 2 accounts in the pocket. PAs. Yo, Shah says in the Discord, $649 away from passing. It was a good day. Hell yeah, that's what's up. Congrats. See, the SPY made a new low of day. We had a nice drop on the SPY. But I exited. Let me show you. New low of day. Big candle. Bang. All right. But the Qs, let me move myself. I'm in the freaking way. The Qs couldn't get that new low done. I mean, it probably will, especially if the SPY can dump again. It probably will. Okay, so I only gave up like 200 bucks in profit. Unrealized profit, that is. It probably will make that new low as the SPY dumps. But I had to exit it. See, the SPY new low again, and the NQ still no new low. It's coming. I think it's coming. But if for any reason the SPY decides to bounce out of nowhere, the Qs are looking stronger, so they'll give you a better bounce. This is where reversal traders will come in here, contrarian trades, and they'll go after this, and they'll add on each drop lower into infinity, and then they blow up their accounts. That's what you don't want to do. Why go against the trend? Is to the downside, right? The trend should go ride that. Wait until you get confirmation of a reversal. Don't just add indiscriminately, because there's more downside here. If this was any regular day, not earnings season, I would be waiting to get back into this trade, looking for more downside. But earnings season, chop, I'm happy with my nearly $1,000 day. Thank you, Jeff. All right, guys, 11:06 a.m. We covered all the rules. We covered a pretty damn badass trade. Yes, Fungus TTV, you made $2,250 on one eval. Boom, that one's already passed almost. You need peanuts now. You need peanuts. You need less than 300 bucks. You need 250 bucks, and you've passed your evaluation. Congratulations. Now, when you get that close, it's very easy to blow up, because you'll come in with one contract and you'll lose 100 bucks or 200 bucks or 300 bucks. Be careful. You blew one, I blew two. See, but this is how I look at it, right? On a day like today, I blew two evals. I lost 60 something dollars. Okay, in those evals, because they cost 33 bucks or something like that. But I made nearly $1,000 in PAs. You know, man, what a glorious dump. There you go, guys. Fresh new lows on the NQ here. You know, part of me wishes I would have held on to that last runner a little bit longer. But when we started to get that wick in front of the low, the SPY had made a new low, the NQ had not, and we were in a 400 zone. I was like, I'll just exit it here and book that profit. Who's gonna say no to 480 bucks times two? Okay, so the reason why it was 480 and not more is because obviously commissions, and my first take profit was actually a loss. I lost $5 on that contract. I lost $500 on that contract. I made 405 on my best contract, my best take, and I made 90 bucks on the other one. I made 90 bucks on the last one I added. I guess. I don't know. Whatever. Banger though. $60,000 in the account. See, look, this is a great example. I have over $10,000 in profit. Over $10,000 in profit in this account now. Okay. That means with the new rule, I can be in a trade and I can let it ride against me up to $3,000. I would never, because that's insanity. But I could if I so choose to. This trade here, I had about a $20, a 20-point risk. I had about a $1,200 risk that I was allowed to take. And normally I would have made more, but I got concerned on the bounce at the low. See, because this is ultimately what I was looking for. This breakdown here. Let me get you back to the futures chart. Come on. This breakdown. Hey, what does it look like? Okay, there we go. This breakdown here, see? This would have been over $1,000 at this point. Probably would have been what, like a $1,400, $1,500 winner times two. I haven't had one of those in about 2 weeks. No, last week I had a in this same account, I think it was, or in another one. I don't remember. Last week I had a couple of $900 winners. Yeah, what a beautiful rejection of that 40. I was really hoping we'd get up there towards 60. I saw the weakness. I said, let me get short in front of 40. I wasn't super comfortable in it because of this wick here, but 40 was a level we talked about earlier today in the morning. So it was support zone that we were looking at. It was first resistance. Then we turned it into looking for it as support. We just lunar launched off that level. So then first chance here at 40, I okay, we'll try to get short here. It was a struggle bus because that 20 zone was holding very well. But when the SPY dumped, we finally got it. You can tell part of me really is not too happy with my execution. I should have let that. I should have just put my stop at break even on that runner. That's what I should have done. I should have put my stop at break even on that runner and just put it on the chart, put it at break even, and let it run. Bro, I would have made a freaking killing. That doesn't happen to me always, but lately, like I said, I was going to be quicker on my takes because I have been getting chopped here and there. You know, we haven't been getting that continuation. I've been in this same setup. Last week I was in this same setup, the same exact setup. Not the same level, but the same exact setup. We had that dump, we had a bounce. I went ahead and got short. And I didn't take profits like I did here. I waited for the targets to really, really get in there and the breakdown for a new low, and we didn't get it. We bounced back up over the resistance zone. I got stopped out, and then it flipped and dumped on me. I was livid. All right, guys. So what do we got here? Yo, we got 130 people watching the stream. Good stuff, man. Haven't streamed in a long time. The fact that so many of you are on here, thank you very much. If you could do me a quick solid, all 100 of you, hit the like button for me and subscribe to the channel. Really helps out tremendously. I posted a new video on Wednesday of last week. Okay, it's out. I'm going to post a new video this week, probably today or tomorrow, going over these rules again that we talked about. And then I have another video in the pipeline that will be ready to rock and roll, which has to do with broader prop firm industry. That one's coming out. So hit the notification bell so you're alerted when I upload those videos. Not sure when I'll go live again, to be honest. Hopefully soon. I can let you know. I don't really do lives much. Why? Let me tell you why I don't do live streams on YouTube much. I trade to make money. A lot of people on YouTube, they trade to sell you affiliate stuff and sell you courses. I have affiliate stuff and I have courses, but I actually trade to make money, to put money in my pocket to pay bills and enjoy life. So being on a stream and trading with that focus detracts from being as profitable as I am. So I don't stream that much. That might change in the future. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll stream once a week, twice a week. Maybe I'll start streaming in the Discord again. I don't know. But for now, stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you're always alerted on what I'm up to. All right, guys? Let me put the free Discord one more time in here for you. Boom, free Discord. If you want a free course. And if you want all of my courses, including futures trading, we're talking about everything. There it is. I think that's the first time I posted that link in a stream, and I don't even know how long. And for those of you watching here, SAVE, save 50 will get you a discount on that full curriculum. See, here I would be looking for a short against that 400 zone. I'm not going to do that because I'm not going to push my luck on the day. But I would be looking for that short against the 400 zone. Guys, thank you very much for tuning in. Any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. 11:15 a.m. We streamed an obscene amount of time today. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for smashing that like button, and I will catch